y te caen unas como esas, ahorita me platicas, te ponen nervioso como arquero, tienes el poder de audición, el permiso para tu papel de la
Hello and welcome back to Chai and Biscuits. I know it's been a long time. We've been very busy with our own personal stuff, but we've been following football. I hope you guys have. We're missing one of our speakers, Abhishek. I think he's on a honeymoon on some exotic island. He just got married. That's Abhishek on your wedding.
Yep.
Today we're going to talk about, I think, football Twitter. Some discussions over crazy things like if Saka is world class or not. Yeah, the celebrations over the top, and so on. But to start off with,
Basically, your topics mostly cover London, but I also want to cover the Premier League and yeah.
No. Obviously, things like whether a 10 Hag out is actually a thing.
It is a thing.
What do you think is going on with United? Are you happy?
Hello, everyone. This this is a sad United fan talking. Like most of the United fans who are listening, it's been a disastrous season. Lot has been going on, and if we start talking about Manchester United and what's wrong with it, it can take like so many podcasts also to understand and to understand the core root of the problems. It's a bad season, but overall, I'm very excited for the Premier League race, to be honest. Like, it's been a while since we saw more than two contestants, and all of them with 1 point difference, City, Liverpool and Arsenal. You should be very happy. Arsenal fans should be really happy, but at the same time, I'm looking forward to the end of the season.
You're already looking forward to the end of the season.
Yeah, I'm done with watching. Like, I just want to finish it and start the new season.
I wanted to ask, how is it as a United fan to see three different rivals? Like Arsenal is a big rival, City is a big rival, Liverpool is a big rival. To see all three of them doing so well, at least in terms of title contending. But United is far behind with like a negative goal difference. How is it for a United fan?
It's bad, but I think now as a United fan, at least for the last decade, we are used to seeing this. Now every alternate season we have a hopeful season that where we finish second or third, and then we have that like a very really bad season. A manager gets changed or everything is wrong. Pundits talking that every pundit talking about what needs to be fixed. I think I'm bored of this cycle now. I want a period where we are consistent, even if we are consistently fifth or sixth, but at least working towards a playing style, understanding, playing like a team, making progress on the offensive stats rather than just like a Ten Hag saying after the Manchester derby. We had a very good first half and with minor margins we lost. That's ridiculous. I did it or posted a tweet also with the stats, and you can see it's like there is 18 shots is to 1 shot, and City had 13 shots in the box, in Manchester United box. It was really sad to see, and it was the most shots conceded by United team in a football game in 15 years. So I don't know where we lost by small margins. So stop, like, I really want us to be like stop being delusional, stop thinking about past, and focus on modern day football. How they are using, the teams, how Liverpool developed, how Arsenal is developing, and use that as a motivation to go and compete with them. But yeah, that's where a United fan is right now.
One stat I really like is that City had more shots than United had possession. 27 shots to 26% possessions.
I did not hear this. It's funny.
But Ten Hag is sort of, I don't want to say delusional, but he is sort of delusional after a big game like this. Because I remember after Arsenal, the stats were similar. Arsenal sort of scored only very late on at the Emirates, but the stats were quite similar, where Arsenal dominated the game with possession, with shots. But then at the end, Ten Hag said that they were in the game till the end and they could have won it too. But even if they had won it, they didn't really perform as a big club,
Mhm.
That's what I think. Like, why? And even after that, a few weeks later, he even brought up the Arsenal game. Oh, we could have won that, and they're doing so well. Arsenal is doing so well, but we almost won that.
I remember hearing that, and I remember the game very well too. Garnacho's minor offside. Holland should have gotten a penalty, but they didn't give it. But yeah, like overall is very defensive about what how the team is playing. He's very because in the end, if he keeps on blaming the team, which he used in the beginning of the season as a strategy, and it did not work out. Now he's changing the strategy about being defensive to the defensive of the team, and but still we are not changing again. But I feel somewhere along the line he's missing the point. He's missing tactics. Like he's missing. So yes, United is a counter-attacking team, and even when Ferguson was there, Arsenal had ball like 70% of the time in Emirates, or at least 60% of the time in Emirates. But we had counters, and Ronaldo, Rooney almost finished the game in 2 counterattacks, right? So I, the tradition is always like that. I like counter-attacking football. I like dynamic football, but the problem here is you're not getting the I'd say formation or the tactics right in these type of games. You're not changing based on opposition. If you're a defensive team who works on counterattacks, then you have to change based on the teams, right? But he never changed a formation in 2 years. It's always 4-2-3-1, or he moves them slightly here and there. His biggest tactic is moving Bruno to the right wing, playing McTominay at number 10, or like when you need more defensive cover. But it is always around that 4 midfield thing, and that 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2, like so. We never tried a 3. If in the beginning of the seasons, I was always wondering, when that many defenders are injured, why can't you play back 3, right? Like why can't you try for one game a back 3 and see how it goes? United used to play back 3 under Solskjaer, and we used to like do very good counter attacking also. So you never change, and that I think that is the core problem. Like here, I'd say it started with a very bad transfer window. Like I'm saying, like we can keep going back and back, but I want to stick this episode to this only this season. And I think mainly the acquisitions were absolutely like I think if you remember, even in our podcast discussions about the transfer window, I was always skeptical about Mason Mount signing. When you are very tight on money, and when you don't have enough ball carrying players or ball holding players, why are you going ahead and spending 70 million to get Mason Mount, right? And he's injured, but even though the games when he's fit, he was either a substitute, or when he played, it was a disaster, and the midfield was overrun. Casemiro, Mason Mount, and Bruno Fernandes, which was supposed to be the starting midfield for the season. So yes, injuries are not helping him, but more than that, that transfer strategy was really bad, I feel, this season, and that kind of like all broke all the good things that we did last season.
Yeah, I think like you said, we can keep talking about United, and we can do a whole episode on it. But to move on from it, just one last question: are you hopeful for next season?
New owners, right? There is a new ownership, and I'm hearing like I think it's not officially done yet, but Dan Ashworth will be appointed footballing sporting director. So maybe like it all depends on what we do in the transfer market. Like if you ask me today, I really want. I'm not a very big fan of Erik Ten Hag until he changes something drastic in this last few months, and I'm okay with him leaving and getting Julian Nagelsmann or hopeful United fan. But getting someone like that who is adaptive to, I'd say, like the opposition. I think United manager needs to be adaptive to the opposition. Ferguson was like that. I still remember us watching a game back in 2011, 2012 in our engineering college. Manchester United versus Arsenal. It was a cup game, and we didn't have any like starting players, but our wingers were Rafael and Fabio, left wing and right wing. And we won 2-0, and Arsenal had most of the ball. But I was so comfortably sitting in my chair that we will win. That was the confidence that we used to have at that time, right? Like, that we can, although teams dominate, you can do counter attacks, and your defense is strong. But right now, your defense is so fragile. So I think we really need a really good left back. Get rid of Harry Maguire. Get rid of refresh the defense is what I'm thinking. So I'm hopeful if we have good transfer market. If we don't have a good transfer season, then it's gone. Yeah.
Okay, to move on to the actual topic of the podcast, football Twitter fights. To start with, do you think Saka is world class? But I guess the question comes, what is world class? What do you think is world class? How do you define world class for a player?
So there are a lot of definitions, right? It depends on the position, definitely, where they are playing. And in this context for Saka, I would definitely measure him against, I say, who is the best performing right wingers in the last like 5 or 6 seasons in Premier League or around the world, right? And I'd say it is Mo Salah, no matter what. Like for me, like the terms, the whatever on Liverpool did in the last few years under Klopp, it is Mo Salah was there for them. So, and he was their star man. So, and main thing, okay, that is world class for me. And when you say world class, that it's the effect that you have, impact on the game, right? The meaningful goal contributions or meaningful assists, and like contributing it to the team when needed, when you need a goal or an assist, is world class for me. Making the difference on the biggest stat, not underlying numbers, not position, not not XG,
Just
expected goals.
Yeah, whether you
do it on
whether it happens or not. I think I heard someone say, I think it was Gary Lineker. He said how he defines world class is if it's in a game where it's 11 versus 11, all the best players in the world. If you can get onto that 11, either 11, so 22 players, best 22 players would mean world class. That I sort of agree with that, because if it means that you are good enough to play in the first 11 versus the rest of the world 11, that means that you are world class because you've gone into the best squad of 22 in the world. I think I sort of agree with that. What do you think?
It's a good way to think about it. But do you think Saka will get into the 22 in your lineups?
I agree with you that Salah is by far the best right winger, because if you sort of you want to rely on your player, right? So if you want to rely on the best right winger, I think I would choose Salah as well. I want Saka to get there, but I think I would obviously choose Salah. But the next question is, what about the next right winger?
Mm-hmm.
There are other right wingers in the world. I think I would go to Saka. Not the best, not above Salah, but definitely in the next level.
Yeah, I'm thinking other right wingers in Premier League right now, mainly Premier League, but even on other leagues, there are very few, right? Like I'd say maybe if Leroy Sané plays on right, he's world class. But for this season, I'd choose Saka ahead of Sané, maybe. Like he's missing a lot of chances, I'd say, and Saka is on an amazing run right now, right? So and he did the same thing last season also. It's not like one season wonder or anything like that. So Sané, Do you put full Foden on right wing or left wing? And will you choose Foden or Saka?
Most of his best performances have come CAM, surely.
CAM?
Maybe LCM, because KDB plays RCM. And most of his performances right now have come when KDB has been injured.
Yes, when KDB, like when De Bruyne was injured, he's their best player this season, no doubts about that.
Yeah.
But he played on the wing in all games. I maybe like there are very few games he came to the center. Like against Newcastle home, amazing game from the center. He played number 10 there. So Guardiola's beauty is that, right? Like keeps changing his position. But yeah, like I think his best performances this season came from right wing.
Yeah, right wing.
Yeah.
I think for Guardiola, it's hard to define positions more for Guardiola than for Arteta, because even they sort of play similarly with like 5-6 players in the attack, right? But for Guardiola, people keep changing their position so much that, and for example, one game Foden will play right wing. One game he might even play left wing if the others are not there. So it's hard to define his positioning. But for Saka, obviously, definitely, he doesn't move anywhere but from right wing as far as this.
Yeah, right wing or right forward, you can call them, right? Yeah. But just to switch topics, not to deviate too much, but like Guardiola's tactics sometimes I really feel amazing. And one thing I saw in the Manchester derby was so Phil Foden was playing on right wing and he scored that amazing goal, right? For 1-1. And then what Ten Hag did was switch. He got Willy Kambawala, is like an upcoming defender from the youth, and he played him on right back and switched Lindelof to left centre back, removed Johnny Emmons and moved Diogo Dalot to left back to control Foden. And he was doing it really well, actually. Like he was doing it well. We had some control for that 4 or 5 minutes, that's all. Guardiola realized it and he moved Bernardo Silva to right wing and Phil Foden to left wing. And then Foden scored the second goal. And Willie was exposed like that. So in-game changes, in-game management, Pep is amazing, I think. So you would choose Saka in your second World 11 on the right wing ahead of Foden.
Yeah, so I think he's world class.
Yeah, you think so? Mm-hmm. At this point in this season, I can't think of any other right wingers. Is what makes it. Even Rodrigo is playing right forward, right? Like Real Madrid is playing 4-4-2 diamond, and Rodrigo is on the right forward. Barca is not doing that well, and there are Inter Milan, and I'd say like even Bayern Leverkusen plays 3 in the back, so you have a right wing back, right? So Frimpong is doing really well in that position, but I'd say like even I'm a fan of Saka. Like I'm a fan, especially after seeing our Anthony. I'm a very big fan of Saka. But he's so, I'd say like effective in the game. Very, very effective. You don't expect him to score goal or an assist at that point. You just think he's passing back or passing it to Odegaard or giving an overlap to Ben White. But the way he manages his game is amazing. And I was a big fan for him. Like if you remember, even in Euros where England lost to France, Gareth Southgate removed Saka. He was their best player in the game.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous for him to remove Saka. I was like really wanted him to see like play and the way England was competing with France. So yes, I don't agree with Ferdinand. I think Saka is world class at this moment.
Yeah. So I think we've also sort of discussed, okay, we've agreed that Saka is world class, but we've also sort of discussed Saka versus Foden.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who do you think? So based on this discussion, so you would choose Saka as well?
Yeah, but Foden comes to me on the left wing, right? I mean, okay, yeah, you have Vinicius Junior. He will definitely be in that. But other than that, I don't see like any other wingers having as good season as Foden for this season, you know, on this level.
Yeah, I guess that's true because Vinicius is playing so well, and Son has played well, but he also sort of plays in the forward position.
Yeah.
And he's their main forward.
Mhm.
In Bayern, there are not really that many good performances this season. They're not doing that.
Yeah, Gnabry was injured like most of the time.
Yeah.
Even Koeman was kind of injured. So Musiala is playing really well. I'd say, but I'll still pick Foden ahead of Musiala this season. Foden is having an amazing. He killed us last week, but still, like I was watching a lot of Manchester City games this season, and for some reason, like the timings worked out, and I was watching, and I whenever I see Foden play, it was amazing. Either in number 10, left wing, right wing, doesn't matter. He was like really good with this season.
One of the things that after the Liverpool won the Carabao Cup, Poch said that if you remember, Arteta got time, Klopp got time, and he should too. And it's a discussion that many underperforming managers bring up, right? That time should be afforded to them because you can only make a lot of big proper changes until you have time.
Mm-hmm.
And they use Klopp as an example because he took some time to win things. Arteta as an example, where Arteta has not really won anything, but he's at least performing on the level that City and Liverpool are performing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that Poch or on another hand, Eric Ten Hag should be afforded that time? And how much time is that? Is it really, can you afford?
Yeah, it comes to our initial discussion, right? Like Klopp was developing a playing style under Liverpool. Liverpool fans, even if they were not winning, I remember them losing Europa League final, right? And even if they were not winning, they were very excited to go and watch Liverpool games because they played amazing football, counter pressing like crazy, playing like running like crazy. So you saw some of the most attractive goals even if they were underperforming under Klopp. Same goes for Arteta, right? First season was a disaster unfortunately because the way everyone ruined the team, right? Like you have 36-year-old David Lewis defending. I don't remember, but that the age group was above 30, right?
Yeah, we had Socrates.
Yeah. Yes, your defense was a disaster. I remember that, and that season, yeah, I was not that like excited to watch Arsenal games. But the following season, once he had his one transfer window, then you saw that marginal gains. I'd say, right? You can see team developing a certain style of play. You can see developing position, things like that. So that's what I feel like is a judgmental point where you should be excited to watch your team play. That's all, no matter what, as a fan. And I don't see that with Pochettino right now. But it's, to be fair with him, all of them are young players. But like Gary Neville said, $1 billion bottle jobs. So they are so expensive. So you have to perform. Like, but you are not having that playing style in Chelsea also. Chelsea is also not there yet. I'd say give Poch one more season, but sack Ten Hag if we lose FA Cup and don't finish in top 4.
Okay, because Ten Hag has had 2 seasons.
Yeah,
what you're saying,
mm-hmm.
And you don't really see a play that is developed.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I sort of agree because even with players like David Lewis and Mustafi and Kolasinac, Arteta tried to develop this playing style, playing from the back, and they had quite some major mistakes because they didn't have a ball-playing goalkeeper. They had Leno, and he still tried to do that with Leno. And you see, I think one of the goals in the FA Cup win in the first season was from the back, and against City and Liverpool. It was really good to see because you were sort of coming out from that Wenger era and the Emery era where we didn't really have a proper style in the Emery era because it was just counter-attack and you had to he changed his team for every opposition. So to have your own style because most Arsenal fans remember Arsenal way as the Wenger way of playing. And to sort of get back to playing football, having possession, and even with not so good players, trying to have that way of playing was really good to see. And you have that identity with your players. I think it doesn't have to be attractive, because you see Chelsea fans really hold Mourinho at heart, and because the first season he came and he developed that strong defensive structure, and he developed that unity for the players, right? And they had not won the league for like 50 years. So, and obviously they won. He didn't need time, but even when things were going wrong, they were ready to give him that opportunity again, because they had that identity together. Because if you don't have that identity with the players, with the managers, then you can't really afford them.
Yeah, that's true. That's a accurate assessment. And Ten Hag tried that this season, right? He got Onana. He was, our butcher Lisandro Martinez was injured all season. So we don't have a like press resistant player in defense at all. Varane is not there. Dalot is developing still. Luke Shaw is injured for most of the season. So your style is based on those 2-3 players, and those people are gone. But when it's more than 6 months now, then you have to find a solution, right? You can't just say players are injured and your season is done because of that. So yeah, and his solution of playing McTominay is I'm not a very big fan. Like but he got us 12 points. If not for McTominay, I think United will be in relegation zones this season. That's for sure. But I still don't agree with him. You play him technique in a tactical way, right? Like how use substitutes, like get him in the second half, but start playing in the first half. Like in Manchester Derby, one good decision is Bruno was number 9 and Garnacho on the right and Rashford was left. But get Eriksen in the midfield. You should have at least 1 or 2 playmakers, right? If you are just in for defending, then what is the point of managing, right? So it sounds harsh, but it's been so long since United had a good game, like good game in the sense like yes, we had a very good start to the year for a couple of months, but without a loss. But still, most of those games, I'd say like McTominay coming in at last minute and scoring and winning, or things like that, but not attractive football. No identified playing style. Yeah. So yes.
Yeah, I think another manager who comes to mind is Postecoglou.
Yeah.
Because after Poch left, they had multiple managers who didn't really play with that Poch way of playing, So I think fans felt like, oh, it's not really good way of playing. And as soon as this guy came, he changed that, and they were good, attractive play all over the field, and especially with that high level, high line. And I think they play well. They play attractive football at least. But also it sort of opens up the defense quite a lot, which is why they're conceding almost every.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But what matters is that at least fans identify with the players and the manager, and they want him to stay because they enjoy the game. They go to the game because they know that they're going to enjoy it. If it's going to be a 90 minutes of boring play and they're not even sure if they're going to win, because if it's proper defensive play and 90 minutes of like the old Inter way of defending, where that that your team is strong enough and will try to win from that defense, then it's fine. But if you don't really have an identity, then you can't really afford managers that.
Correct. Yeah. That's why like something drastic should happen. Yeah. Or Poch or Ten Hag. My prediction is Poch and Ten Hag will go next season. So we'll see.
Next season, like by this summer.
Yeah, by this summer. Chelsea are impatient, but yeah, like going back to Tuchel will be funny too. So it'll be interesting to see how Chelsea plays this summer. But yeah, go ahead. Next topic.
Yeah, I think many clubs will be looking for a new manager because Klopp is leaving.
Oh yeah, hmm that's big. Like, finally, as a United fan, I hope Liverpool stops winning, going down. But I was reading this surprising thing. Like, I mean, Xabi Alonso is the favorite, right, to replace Liverpool Klopp. And you know what? Like, Klopp, before Xabi Alonso, if he does it, and most likely he will do it this season, win Bundesliga. Uh, Klopp was the only manager who did it before Xabi Alonso. Like, I mean, other than Bayern Munich, yeah.
Other than my
Wow.
that was 11 years
Yes.
ago.
And that was Klopp. Even Tuchel didn't win it, right?
That's
So,
insane.
so, so it's maybe luck rides with them. So we'll see. I like Xabi Alonso also. Like, yeah, I agree. He's also. So coming back to that, right? Like, Xabi Alonso is one good manager who changes his formations based on oppositions and based on what's going on in the game, right? And I observed a lot with Arteta this season too, which is really amazing. If you remember us discussing in the beginning or during transfer window, um, uh, like I was not I mean, I like Declan Rice as a player, but I was not really a very big fan of the signing, spending $110 million. If we had a fight about it, if you remember, and that's because he can't play as a single holding number 6, right? So, and I still stand to my comment, which says like he does not have the capability to play as a single holding number 6 in big games, at least in big games. Not on Rodri or prime Sergio Busquets or prime Casemiro level yet. And so he needs a holding midfielder, but he will be amazing along with that holding midfielder because he has the legs and he has the age on his side, right? So and Arteta is changing based on that, uh, especially in big games. He started with playing Jorginho, Rice, and Odegaard, and moved Kai Havertz to number 9. Correct. So I think so. I liked that change. I mean, it's not. It's you don't have to like worry about playing style or things like that, especially in title winning games. Last season at Etihad, I was mad because he's not changing based on he was in Etihad for going to win the Premier League. I mean, if he wins the game, there is a very big chance, and he still didn't change anything with his team. He went with the same exact team to Etihad, and so he should have. We discussed he should have played with 2 holding midfielders. Get Sambi in and Sambi Lokanga in and play with him. Like, although he's not experienced, you will have the legs to defend City and try to hit on counters. But he's not. He was not like that last season, but I'm seeing him change this season. But he has better players also. So I think that is giving Arsenal the edge in the title race. If I know, like they are best performing. What you have like 3 continuous games with more than 5-0 leads, if I'm not wrong. So
In away,
away also.
away, this is the first time. Yeah. In the middle, we had a Newcastle game, which was 4-1.
Oh shit!
But I think what people forget is that this is Arteta's first ever managerial job. So he's also developing. He's also trying to get to terms with doing all the things that a manager has to do. And yeah, I think one of the things that I said I didn't like about Arteta was that he does not make changes. I understand that Arsenal do not have a good squad last year, but you still have to make changes because players get tired. By making those changes, you start bringing unpredictability to the game. So the opposition is not really ready for it, and your own players also develop. The people on the bench, like Nielsen, Smith Rowe, and so on. But this season, you're right. He's definitely done things differently. He's brought players on much earlier than he used to last season. He's changed his tactics quite a bit here and there, adapted to the opposition while still retaining what you can do as your own style of play. I think that has sort of developed. He's sort of developed as a manager.
Nice. Yeah. That core will be there. On the right, you have Ben White, Odegaard, and Saka handling that side, and then you have on left Havertz is new, so he and on LCM he was not really that successful, right? You had a blip in the beginning of the season, and then you don't agree with me?
I sort of disagree. No, I
Okay.
I think Arsenal played the same way the whole season. It's just that some things just started sort of clicking after the winter break. But in terms of defensively, it's the same. Even attack offensively, we sort of play the same way. It's Havertz either LCM or CF, but they keep moving from those two positions. So if it's Trossard he's playing with, then they keep switching positions throughout the whole game. So I think that nothing has really changed. It's just that right now everything is sort of clicking.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really think that him playing in LCM did not work.
Okay. No, I'm talking about big games. Like, I mean, last season itself, Arsenal were comfortable against like teams below sixth, right? Like they can win in a comfortable way. They were at a very high level from last season too, but they managed to like I'd say like they didn't win at Liverpool. They didn't win at City. So, and I don't remember at Old Trafford if they won or not. No, they lost at Old Trafford too last season. So this season we still did not play yet, right? So, and but like the difference from last season to this season is, I'd say that midfield combination is something that is you're playing with Jorginho and Rice to get that additional defensive cover in big away games will make a difference. Even if you manage to get a point in big away games, I'd say like that will be huge. And he's changing that. And in the beginning of the season, when we were talking, you can't play Havertz at LCM, at Etihad or Anfield or even at Old Trafford. I'd say like you can't win the game is what I'm saying. Like they are very destructive on counterattacks. So and he's managing it well with Rice this season is what I'm feeling.
Yeah, I think maybe you're sort of right, because I think at the beginning he was also not confident because he came for 65 million. He wasn't really doing well last season at Chelsea. So he was not there in his mind as well. And there are some changes that Arteta did from the first half to the second half, because he's playing Jorginho more or another defensive midfielder more, so that it can help with Havertz moving up. I think you're sort of right there. But what you said sort of reminded me that this season, Arsenal has done really well in the Big Six table.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't lost yet. They drew with Liverpool away, Chelsea away. They won at home with Liverpool against City and United.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're doing really well in the Big Six. So that has also sort of helped give them the confidence that, okay, we can go. Because they drew at Anfield, right? Which is a big...
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, what was the score? I don't remember. This season. 1-1.
Nice. But Arsenal dominated the game. They like they sort of always do. But in terms of going to Anfield and doing it, it was really good for them and getting a result,
especially this season, right? So I think we have to speak about Liverpool also, right? Like, so Klopp's send-off season. Do you think? What do you think about them? Like, do you think they have in it in them to beat City and even Arsenal to get the title, or what are you thinking?
I think in terms of the football Twitter conspiracies, people are saying that referees are making it easier for Liverpool because it's his farewell tour, which is sort of silly, really.
Speaking like a true,
I think
I'd say opposition title competitor, right?
I'm thinking still here. I don't agree with that at all. Like, I think referees are bad in general.
Yeah, they've
If they go to a tough place like Anfield, then obviously the team that is at home and being supported by this huge crowd of loud supporters will definitely get the support from the refs. So, but if they go to a louder crowd like United, then that United will be sort of biased by the ref. I think there's a home bias from all the refs, and also there's a big six bias. Bigger team you are, you obviously get a more biased decisions for you.
We'll talk about referees in a different episode. But yeah, so speaking about Liverpool, you're talking about referees. So, but yeah, like I mean, I have a feeling that Liverpool, if lucky, can win the title. I don't have it. I don't think like they're starting to get injuries, and as you can say, like you can see a lot of people from youth are playing, but still like they're managing to win, which is kind of stupid. I feel like Liverpool should lose those type of games, but the Chelsea was there in the League Cup final, and even in Nottingham Forest, they won it in the last minute, right? And that too because of referee beyond the last minute, yeah, controversial decision still. So, but good news is for them is all the big people are coming back. Salah is in the squad for Europa League, and Darwin is back. Szoboszlai is back. So it's good for them if they manage to keep that 11 fit until the end of the season. I feel like they really have a shot this season. They're really clicking when their starting 11 is playing. So
yeah, I think they've especially their replacements, for example, Kelleher, they've been doing really well. Endo, who's sort of replaced McAllister because he was injured. So they've really stepped up and done well. Trent was injured. Bradley did really well.
So we have to give a shout out for ourselves because we did Bradley's signing assessment in the beginning of last season in our podcast. Connor Bradley, and then we thought him was a very good signing and a backup to Trent. He had amazing stats, but Klopp didn't listen to us. So this season he listened. So it's working for them. So credit for us. So
yeah, I think we've done some really good predictions. For example, well, this is not exactly a prediction, but in the team of the season we had Raya and Rice, and both of them came to Arsenal and performed well. Last season we did. I spoke about Udogi. Last season was not good for him, but this season he's really coming to a good spot with.
Yeah. Playing very well in that inverted left back, right? Yeah. Okay, so Liverpool is coming to Arsenal, right? They still have to come to Emirates and play.
What? We won.
Oh, you won?
3-1.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Liverpool are...
Start of this year.
Oh, start of this year, okay. One of the other topics that created a lot of topic of discussions or controversy on Twitter is celebrations, right? It started with Arteta's celebration, I think, and over the top celebrations. There was a heated debate about that, and Gary Neville and Carragher discussing about it. So, what's your take? What's your take on Arteta's and Arsenal celebrations and the topic in itself, Rohit?
I think that if you win a football game, you have to celebrate, right? If you're, I think that if you're not celebrating, then it's like you don't really enjoy what you're doing. For example, if you score a goal on, if you win against your friend on FIFA, you definitely celebrate. And if you beat a big team, I think this was after the Liverpool game. So if you beat a big team, then you definitely have to celebrate. If you're not celebrating, then it's a bit sad, really. Bit sad for the players, bit sad for the fans who are there. And for example, if I'm watching this at 2 o'clock, I want to see them celebrate because I'm celebrating. If they're not celebrating, it's like, oh, they don't care.
Yeah.
One particular topic of the celebration of discussion was about Odegaard. Because Odegaard took the camera from the cameraman and took a picture of him. I think there's some context that needs to be put to this because the cameraman is a diehard Arsenal fan who's been photographing Arsenal. He's an official Arsenal photographer. So he's been there for the last 20, 25 years. And Odegaard, the captain, wanted to put him in sort of the spotlight. So he wanted to take a picture of him during the whole celebration after the game. I think if you remember last year, for one of the big games, even Arteta made him do the pre-match talk. I think it's good. It's good that he will feel included.
It's healthy.
Yeah, he will feel included. If for example, if you did that for a fan, the fan will feel included. So it's good. I don't see how it's a bad thing at all.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I was always frustrated to see Klopp celebrating at Liverpool, but because that comes from a United fan's point of view, but not like the celebrations were over the top or anything like that. You can't put a definition to how you enjoy, right? It's basic. It's a basic thing, like, and you can't put like a dictionary definition to how you have to react in a certain situation.
Yeah,
and that's why we have emotions, right? So I think the whole point of that discussion was there was no more topics, I guess. So maybe they just started fighting.
I think it started with Gary Carragher because he said because he was in the punditry team after the game and they were all celebrating and he was like, just stop, just get down the tunnel. We are not really celebrating after a game. It's over. The match is over. You won it. Just finish it. Which is really, it comes from a sore point that Liverpool had just lost. So obviously he was saying that.
Exactly. Yeah. I think, it comes from Carragher as a fan rather than, I'd say, a pundit, right? So that's the.
There was another celebration by Arteta who sort of did the celebration that Klopp usually does after games. And that is another topic of discussion that Liverpool fans had, that, you're just copying Klopp. But there have been so many celebrations that, so many managers who did that celebration long before Klopp. It just sort of seems silly. Like, let them celebrate however they want. Okay, if it's something that Klopp did before, fine. If it's something that other managers did before, fine. Whoa, let them celebrate. What is it to you?
Yeah, I think, it's just, I think the sore feeling of losing the match, especially that Arsenal-Liverpool was a big game, right?
Yeah.
So this time especially, and I think that was the main reason for the topic of discussions, I'd say. But we'll see. Like, all the three of them are in the title race, right? So we'll see.
Yeah, I think
once the season, but still.
One thing that really bothers them, other non-Arsenal fans, when Arteta celebrates or Arsenal celebrates, is that Arsenal has not actually won anything of a big to celebrate like this. But celebration should not have to do with trophies. You know, it should
just enjoying the process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that I'm enjoying how Arsenal is playing after so many years of sort of second level club, because they're not winning the big trophies. But to be able to be up there and compete with City and Liverpool itself is big for me. Like I'm enjoying that process.
Correct. Yeah. Just being a part of the title race itself, as a fan, you'll love it, right? You will love that team. Like you will watch games with so much passion.
Yes.
That is that's it. And with Liverpool, it was always the case. I feel in the beginning of the season, I'd say, and not in the beginning, in the slightly before, against United versus Liverpool in Anfield, it was a 0-0 draw. And Virgil van Dijk came to the
Exactly.
press conference and said that there was only one team that wanted to win, and Roy Keane's response, I love Roy Keane's response to that, is like, you're talking as if you are legends in the Premier League, but honestly speaking, you only won one Premier League title in the last 5 or 6 years. You came close, but you were always second, right? So even with criticism of Arsenal not winning anything, it's not like Liverpool won so many titles that so many Premier Leagues that they have so much experience in it, right? They just won one.
Yeah.
It's all like good because they won some league cups, they got a Champions League, but Premier League wise, it was just one league title in the last
So you see
20 years.
that okay, so you won one and you think that you deserve to celebrate so much while you're putting down other clubs for celebrating while winning against you.
Yes, exactly, right? Yeah, that is the
Yeah, I think it's right. Like you can celebrate, let them celebrate however they want. What is it to you?
So Liverpool Arsenal is done. Like you don't have any more games.
Yeah,
But there is City versus Arsenal. In
there is City versus Arsenal at the
others.
There is Spurs away for Arsenal. There is Chelsea at home for us.
Okay.
And United away. Quite a few games.
Okay. 4 games, right? Yeah, I think it'll be fun. Chelsea, you will win easily. United also, I think you can win easily. It depends. Like United, I still say like at that point, if it's late towards the late end of the season, then maybe everyone will be back again, and so we'll see. But yeah, like Etihad is might be the game changer. Exciting games to come. Their next week is Liverpool City, right? So
yeah, so I guess it depends on these big games.
Yeah. As an Arsenal fan, what result are you hoping for?
I think that Liverpool win.
Okay.
No, sorry, City win. So that then it would depend on Arsenal versus City, right?
Okay. I think a better result for an Arsenal fan would be a draw, right? A 2-2 or a 3-3 draw.
Yeah. Draw.
Yeah.
But we need Liverpool to lose at least 3 points. That's why. So 2 points is great. 3 points is better.
Okay. So you're confident that you'll go to Etihad and win?
I think then it would depend just on Arsenal. So if we win all our games, then that's great. But if we lose these, if Liverpool lose those 2 points, then we still have to hope that there are other points that Liverpool and City lose in other games, which doesn't really depend on Arsenal. So if Liverpool lose, then Arsenal win the next game, then Arsenal go on top. And if they go on a run, then it would just depend on us. That's why.
Okay. Some Arsenal fans,
Who do you think will win?
don't change. Like, I mean, who do I think will win? It's very difficult. Like this is an amazing. Like for a long time, it's 3-way race, right? So it's very difficult to predict, and all the 3 teams are in a very good form right now. So all of them are expected to go on a run. It's like so. Yeah, and all of them have a reason to. Like Arteta last year's revenge, Klopp's last season. Pep is like, okay, let me try to win it again. You guys fight. So
Pep doesn't need a reason. It's just always
yeah. I predict City to win, but I want Arsenal to win. So that's the difference. Yeah, that's all.
Why do you want Arsenal to win? Just curious.
Hello, I mean, no team ever won 4 Premier Leagues in a row, right? So,
Yeah. I think we discussed this earlier that if Arsenal win, they win after a 20-year gap. This is the longest they have gone without winning the title. And then it would be United that has a 10-year wait for 11-year wait for the title compared to other big 6 clubs. If Liverpool win, that means Liverpool and United are on equal titles won.
okay.
If City win, then City has that 4 titles in a row, which beats United's and Arsenal's and Huddersfield Town that have this record.
So many stats to break. Here comes the stats guy.
Another thing that you brought up that 3 teams are doing really well so late in the season, right? This is the first time ever it has happened where 3 teams have this many points at this after 27 games.
Yeah.
What reminded me was in the 2007 and 2008 season, Arsenal at this point had 60 something points. And that season was the first time a team had that many points
And lost the title.
then did not finish in the top 2.
Okay.
Not even finish in the top 2. Yeah, because they had that I think leg break of our number 9 Eduardo Silva, and then just lost.
Okay.
Hopefully we can get something out on a regular basis, and we'll have Abhishek back too.
Yep. Bye.